Well, hello everybody, and welcome to today's what I want to call today. It feels like a family reunion, but also just feels like this new possibility opening up. And maybe I've been feeling that possibility all along, and I felt it coming. Maybe I felt its eventuality into what it wants to create. But this is such confirmation being here with Meg Benedicte today on Beyond the Ordinary show. And this is going to be a phenomenal call. There's so much to cover. Okay, we're going to cover the inner child healing. We're going to get into the Syrian gateway. Also, this is huge. The 8-8, I can't quite put my finger on it. Maybe it's so big and so new, but I don't know. Meg's going to give us insight. And also how to utilize the energies from now until then, of course, beyond. And we're going to get into what's coming up also for the rest of the year. So it's gonna be an extraordinary call, and we are gonna take live calls. People are already emailing Meg since yesterday, typing their questions in. So this is gonna be, again, phenomenal. Y'all take advantage of the live questions ask. And Meg, if you just wanna give a little brief overview, and welcome, by the way, it's so good to see you. But can you give everybody a brief overview on how you work with your clients and people who are following you?
Oh, yes, especially for those who are new to my work. I've been working with clients for 25 years. Oh my God, I can't believe it's so long. And I collaborate with Archangel Metatron. This is his technology. It's called Quantum Access. And real quick, because it's rather complicated, but real quick is we use Metatron's cube to activate the quantum vortex around your energy field. It actually helps to activate your Merkaba light body. It helps to open up and activate your heart crystal. And what it's doing is it's creating a tool. It's an ascension tool, really, because it's accelerating everything inside it. Think of it kind of like a blender, right? It's integrating and unifying and in a way helping the soul to embody into the physical genetics and energetics and field. So we use it both ways. We use it to clear out energies that are old, outdated, dysfunctional, perhaps blocking us, or we can use it to go into any area of the life. We can go into work on core wounding, karmic past lives. Like it's the tool, it's the bomb. And so we use it to clear, right? And in a way, what I think we're doing, if you want to kind of look at bigger picture, we're clearing our earthly history. That's what we're doing. We're clearing our earthly history. So we're creating a very sacred vessel, a soul vessel. So the soul and the human can merge and blend and come into unity consciousness together. And then we begin to live completely differently. We live as a divine human. So that's real quick, elevator speech of how this works.
It is quick, and just for my testimony, my work with Meg has been profound. Sessions were for the energy that I feel so viscerally, the effects that I feel after the sessions. Again, they're just absolutely altering.
Yeah.
And you're going to experience a little bit of that on today's call, perhaps a lot, depending on what you're open to receive and what comes through. But again, it's going to be a phenomenal call, y'all. And again, I'm glad, Meg, that you gave your energy into how it is that you facilitate, because it's quantum. We really get to shift through things and, again, rewrite that history. Not rewrite, we're really erase that history. Be done with that history.
We are erasing history. We're even erasing like the anomalies in the human genetics, the double-strand DNA lockdown. We're erasing the trauma of Atlantis collapsing. We're erasing all of this. We're erasing the patriarchal power system that's been dominating and controlling. Like there's so much that's what I think, believe it or not, is the last couple of years. It was kind of this decomposition of a lot of this energy, our history, our earthly history, so that we can actually connect and embody more of our galactic, like starseed soul energy now.
Well, speaking of the galactic starseed energy, let's talk about the Syrian gateway.
Yes. So for those who are near, to the ancient Syrian Lemurian lineage, you may have already been feeling this energy coming in. It started on July 3rd. It lasts for 6 weeks, and it's also often called the dog days of summer, but it is when Sirius, blue star Sirius, and our sun are rising on the horizon every morning in a harmonic convergence till leading up to the 8/8, August 8th, Lion's Gate. And Sirius, this is actually where I started in my awakening. I was guided, I would go into trance state, this is in the 90s, and I would be time jumping with this vortex, using this quantum vortex and time jumping into another parallel timeline at Sirius. And I was like, okay, what is this? And they're all like kind of walking dolphins, right? Blue ray beings, and very advanced in quantum transformation, quantum alchemy, like they can shapeshift energies. I think they're the ones who came here and helped us build these pyramid complexes all around the world in the different societies. They know how to move through the particle and antiparticle field. They're very advanced. They work with sacred geometry, work with templates and holograms. And so I just observed and learned quite a bit from the Syrians by popping in and sitting with them basically and communing with them. But they're also very linked to the Lemurian civilization that was located along the Pacific coast, so from Mount Shasta, California, all the way down through Hawaii and into Australia. This is talk about earthly history. This is also held within our memory banks, right? This Lemurian civilization, and it had a lot of strong Syrian influence, and it was also what I consider more of the feminine, circular, collaborative type of civilization, as opposed to Atlantis, which became a very masculine, hierarchical society. So we're in a gateway right now. It's happening right now, and we can receive in this indigo blue ray it's the Syrian light, and that's what I did probably the first 10 years of my awakening in meditation. I would keep bringing in the Syrian light, and it was boom, 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 activating the blueprint and activating the dormant code and lighting up more of my light body. And also what's so great about the Syrian light is it heals pathogens. So you bring that Syrian light in, and you can also start to heal the problems of your earthly history, right? Whatever has manifested as well in the physical. So it's just a very powerful time right now as we're connecting to both our Syrian starseed ancestors as well as Lemurian, because I think that's partly what we're doing. Is we're all here from other star systems, and many of us have already gone through this ascension, and we're here now as like the front lines. We're here as the ascension way showers, and we're here to help activate. I don't feel we're going backwards to like a Lemurian. I feel we're in what we could consider maybe a new Earth Lemuria, but it's taking all that we've learned, especially through these thousands of years of the hierarchical power system, to learn how to come back into the collaborative, unity consciousness operating system. So I see it kind of like as a full circle moment for all of us who've been very dedicated and have this starseed mission. It's a powerful time to be here.
What do we do with the Syrian energy, this gateway, from now until 8/8, and probably there's a tail end to it that lingers on for a little while as well, I would assume.
Goes to like August 11th, but it's like an integration period right after 8/8. What I do is I get into the vortex, right? I ground, I get into the vortex, and I open. So we're working with our light body, working with our chakra pillar vertically, and I connect. So I use my right brain, which is what we use to visualize, and I connect to star Sirius, which is in our Milky Way. It's the brightest star in the sky, right? Connect to star Sirius. It is a blue ray planet. So connecting to it, you can also, if you have feel there's something in you that could be Syrian. It might not be you're from Sirius. I'm not from Sirius, but I did have a Syrian timeline. So I have some memory of it or some connection to it. And you can connect to your soul who was involved with Sirius, however long ago it was, right? So connect to the star, connect to the blue ray, connect to the connection your soul has to it. And then I call it in. So I command and call that Syrian indigo shimmering blue white light to come down my chakra column. And I breathe it in and take it in to my energetics. And you can even just set the command that I'm open to receiving in all the benefits of the Syrian light right now while the gateway's open, however, to assist in my personal ascension and my mission and the planetary ascension as well.
Beautiful. Maybe we can end the call with an activation for that.
Sure.
That would be wonderful. So we'll get into that. And if there's any more questions that come up around the Syrian gateway, you guys can raise your hand and we can go deeper into the questions on that. How does this relate to our inner child healing? What's coming up around that? Again, this was a conversation that on the show 4, 5, 6 years ago, it was a big topic. And of course, it became almost normal to talk about inner child, that I think it lost its, I can't say lost its power, but everybody's like, but I've done that inner child healing. Well, what did you do? Exactly.
Yeah. Okay. First of all, if this is even a new term to you, the inner child is an aspect of our human psyche, our human spirit, right? Our human essence. And this is a practice we do. It's devoted to anyone who's experienced life-altering childhood trauma. And this can run the gamut, right? So it could be from neglect or abandonment to very like violent abuse. I was raised with a rageaholic father and sexual abuse. So it was very severe. So there's a range, but everyone can benefit from doing inner child healing, because if you have it's hard to imagine anyone would have, the perfect childhood. It could even have happened outside the home, maybe at school or in the neighborhood or so this is trauma that's very deep in the subconscious cellular memory. It's in the morphic field, it's in your Akashic records, and it needs to be resolved and healed and cleared for us, because we're erasing our earthly history. So we can't skip this step. We can't ignore it. And also, child trauma, it impairs so much, right? It impairs the immune system, it impairs our nervous system, our hormone system. It interferes with healthy relationships. It can cause a lot of insecurities where we aren't living our full potential, right? And so, it's kind of a catchphrase, but it's like feeling is healing. Well, we have to kind of feel what happened so that we can bring it into consciousness and we can start to transform that wounding. And I know for myself going through it too, I started with, traditional psychotherapy, but I wasn't feeling like I was like getting into the energy of it. I was just talking about it, right? And that helped me to get more insight into it. But I was like, okay, I need to go deeper. I need to literally get into that stuck trauma, get into that energy to help clear myself of it. And also when we go through this process of transforming the trauma or the wounding, we're integrating that power of our inner child again. This is the origin of our joy. This is the origin of our vitality, our magic, right? Our wonder. It's the source of our own creativity. And if it's been wounded and split out and separated out, we are missing all of that. And that's what I found, is by me going through this process and bringing all that back inside and integrating the beautiful child that I was, I have that essence alive in me again. I have that vitality and I feel joy when I didn't used to. So it's a very powerful process to go through. But I find that most adults, they don't have the capacity to manage all that intense, painful emotion on their own. So that's why I created this process so you can work with it. It is a self-study course. You can work with it on your own. And it also, I've included a webinar so that I will work with you and walk you through the protocols. But it was very important when I went through this step-by-step process was I didn't feel safe. My child did not feel safe in the world. And so we first start to create like a safety net for the trauma healing. And that's what this technique is so beautiful, because it's creating this quantum vortex around your field. And we connect with Divine Mother and we start to actually create like almost like a cocoon of healing space inside that the child can be in while we're going through the protocols. So we have to build this ourselves in a way. We have to kind of reparent ourselves, right? And we have to build a sense of inner safety and love and connection. I had no connection with my child. I was completely neglecting it. I actually didn't even know about it. And so I had to reconnect with that powerful essence and commit that I'm there for her and I'm going to protect her. I'm going to take care of her and I'm going to provide for her needs. And so I'm always checking in with her and she's thriving inside. This is part of kind of the renewal, the regeneration that I'm experiencing as well. So I think it's really important to add this into your spiritual practice and your ascension, because we have to kind of heal and mend the broken parts of us so we can ascend all of us into that union with the soul.
I agree. And the work is profound in this. And from my experience, y'all, I live in therapy. I mean, really, it's my job to have sessions, to go into different things, to explore, to open up. And and thank goodness, what a blessing for me. And I get to study my favorite subject, which is, of course, is me. No, but seriously, what we do, what I have had the privilege of is to go in and have different relational aspects with the inner child and the healing of it. And when you feel that safety net around you, like you were talking about, Meg, then not only do you feel more secure and more confident in the world, the healing from the ancestral, the mother and the father, has a place to really take root. Because until you feel safe within and you feel that you're holding yourself and not abandoning yourself and all those primary needs that weren't there, that as we reintegrate, have this soul, have these aspects of soul retrieval coming back to us that connect us to our oversoul also. So the link lights up in ways that have been shut down because of the trauma. But from there, really, my experience has been then the real work with the attunement, forgiveness, honoring of my family and the lineage from a whole different perspective. That's when the ripple effects of changing and dismantling the past really take effect. So what you're talking about is so relevant. And I just recently, over the last 2 months, I've been having dreams where my parents and my mom are coming. And these are hard dreams, but I know it's clearing the residual, that because I'm showing up for myself in a new way, yet still after all this therapy and all this healing work and all this forgiveness work, that's still coming through. We are purging so much right now.
So much right now. And yes, I mean, I've been working on my own childhood wounding for decades, and yet I'm actually feeling like visceral PTSD trauma still coming out of the body. And this violation core wound is still healing. And you mentioned the family ancestry, and the more that I look at it, I see that, you know, my mother and her sister were sexually abused, and they both married sexual predators who, you know, molested their daughters. And I mean, it just goes on and on until we decide we're going to stop it. Right? We're going to put an end to this. We're going to break free of these family operating systems and close all karmic contracts with the parents. So we're no longer perpetuating this anymore. And we start liberating ourselves from all of it. And that is a powerful process to go through. And we're doing it in the planetary fields, right? So we're also rippling this out into the world's collective, as well as working on ourselves.
Yeah, it's profound work. It's, you know what, let's just go into the special offer right now, because we've opened up, and so we're having this discussion, and we can even take questions around the special offer also, because this is so rich. And before we do that, and I refer everybody to the link, which is up in the chat box, how's the inner child related to, in particular, the 6-week time frame of the Syrian Stargate and beyond?
That's a great question. I don't think I even looked at that, but that is true. I see that we're receiving a lot of this infusion from the ancient Syrian elders on how to live in the new system, right? And also how to relate with each other, relate with our, our galaxy, relate with, and we've been getting these beautiful images from the web, satellite. I mean, it's like all kind of happening at once, where we're all connected, we're all interconnected, and we need to be interconnected within our own essence too, which includes our inner child. So as we start to see kind of the bigger picture, the galactic interconnectedness, we need to piece ourselves back together as well. And I do feel this 2022 is such a powerful year with the 222 influence of this feminine kind of resurgence and regeneration and fresh energies and fresh starts. And let's do that with our inner child as well. Let's give our inner child a fresh start as well. And when we go to the quantum level, which I find so fascinating, if you get into the quantum vortex and you're doing this work, this thing works like a time machine, right? This is what I use to time jump. This takes us back into the past timelines, into the future timelines. We can use it. As I really started breaking free from the ancestral lineage and pulling that system out and pulling the code out and pulling the programming out, I was guided by my higher self to use the quantum vortex and go back in time and recreate my childhood. And what's so fascinating about this, on the quantum level, the mirror neurons don't know the difference. They can't tell if it's real or not. It's all holographic. And what I even found, I love how spirit works. They're like, let's go on Zillow and look up our childhood home. Okay, where the hell did that come from? I've never thought of that in a gazillion years. And
Wow.
I did it, and it had just sold, and it had been completely remodeled. So I took my childhood home with a nice, shiny, spanky new look on it, right? And I created a new child and a new parents and a new childhood.
Wow.
And that thing is alive and running in me. And what it does is it creates this inner sense of like fullness, like I'm good, right? I'm good. I was nourished. I was taken care of. I was provided what I needed as a child. And that then goes out of me into the now as a sense of inner strength, right? Inner core confidence that I didn't have when I was being, abused all those years. So we can take this really to a very quantum level, and that's just the child. Okay, think about doing that with your entire life, rewriting,
Right.
recoding, reformatting, right? Creating a new holographic future for yourself. This is all opening up first this year, and then 222 energy.
I love the story you shared. I have a similar story where I was taken in a process of transmission, and I was laid out, and I went on this journey, and I went back into my mother's womb.
Mhm.
And I was there with my mother in the womb, and I met my grandchild, who my daughter was about to give birth to a few weeks afterwards. And it took me into a resonance with the new, and I was reborn again. And it was the same parents, but they were in a different timeline. They were supportive. They were showing up. Their trauma-based codependency that affected us so dramatically wasn't there. It's like I can see the trajectory flowering into something else. And I felt that that's the timeline I jumped into. Like the other one, have an awareness of it, and the stories is there, but they don't have the charge or the power or need the compassion.
They go flat. They just go.
It went flat. It goes flat. So it's that rebirthing process and what we're stepping into and rewriting and eliminating history. It's real. I'm telling you, it's real. It's what's happening. I'm so glad you shared this, Meg. And y'all click on the special offer, because really the healing the inner child, I mean, that's from there, everything. And I'm telling you from my own personal experience, from that place of healing the inner child, everything gets to be rewritten.
Yeah.
I have no doubt whatsoever. It's beautiful. So y'all click on the link. We're going to get into Q&A in a little bit. So if you guys want to ask questions, raise your hands. We'll get into that. And maybe we'll end with a transmission today and also getting into what's left for the year energetically, what's coming through. So I have kind of an agenda because I want to cover so much with Meg. So again, click on the link that's in the chat box or go to beyondtheordinaryshow.com/Meg28 and it'll take you to that same page. And let me share my screen also so that everybody can follow along with us. Oh, I better make sure I have something proper open. Let me see here. There's your offer, and I'm sharing the screen. Nope, that's not it. I have different windows that want to pop up. I apologize, y'all. Okay, here we go. Meg, so your special offer, Healing Your Inner Child. You want to take us through this?
Sure. If you can scroll down a little bit, we're going into, so this is actually a multimedia package. So it comes with a self-study course. You have a training manual. There's healing protocols that's in a workbook. There's a whole long video of me teaching this to you. And then there's also 3 different focused MP3 audio meditations that you can work with the protocols. So these are the steps, these are the protocols that I did myself through all these years, and also learning how to do them effectively with clients over the past 25 years. So as we mentioned earlier, you're having to start to get present, right, with that energy, whatever is stuck inside or held inside, any core wounding, cellular memory, trauma from the childhood. And the protocols provide you all the steps, and the recordings will take you right into it. I will be, using my voice and power and activations to help you start to work with it. We create that safety zone, that safety net, and then we begin to use the power of the vortex. What's so interesting about this is we don't have to have all the details of all the memories of what happened. I just, on a visceral level, knew there was sexual abuse, but I don't have to address every single time it happened or every single memory. You're locking on the energetics of it. So that's what I love so much about this, is then you can use the vortex and you can start clearing it out, all of it, without having to kind of piece it apart, right? We're just saying, okay, childhood trauma, childhood abuse, and we start moving this layer after layer. We are delayering, moving this out. But we first have to just acknowledge it, right? We just have to feel into it. And then we can, and I find that by being in the energetics of it, you can actually start to perceive more of the root cause of it. And there may actually be some lessons, some learning from the core of this trauma, the root cause. So that's where we integrate whatever we're receiving from it, learning from it, and then we're clearing away and transmuting the actual wounding and the trauma. If you go down a little bit more, John, to the next page. So I, earlier mentioned some of the areas that this can really show up in. It's not just in there hanging out, like this is affecting our physical health, our psychological health, right? It's affecting our relationships. It can degrade more and more. What it gave me was autoimmune disease. Okay, so especially like Epstein-Barr and lupus. I had to work through a lot to clear that out. But if you get into the root cause of it, then you start pulling and breaking it apart and removing it. It's could hold into your body. Like I mentioned, I have some PTSD still there. And one of the things that I made sure I added into the protocols, it can be a root cause of depression. You could have running in you the kind of freeze. I would go into freeze with that PTSD, right? So you're not responding to life, you just freeze. You could have the people pleasing, programming running. I had that one. You could have the perfectionism. That one I'm still working on a bit. That one is strong. Whew. But these all develop from the early childhood wounding and trauma. We're trying to overcompensate. We're trying to turn to coping mechanisms to deal with it. And of course, you mentioned codependency. That's a big one that can arise out of the childhood trauma in our relationships. And then of course, substance abuse is a big one too, right? Coping mechanism with that pain inside. And so these are some of the core wounds: abandonment, neglect, violation, shame. I had body shame, a big one of that, sexual shame, guilt. You feel guilty for other people's problems, right? There again, you're in the people pleasing, blaming everyone else for your own issues. Like this gets all so mixed up. We're either taking it all on ourselves or we're projecting it all on others. Neither side is healthy. And so this is, we're talking childhood wounding, childhood trauma, but as you can see, the ripple effect of this is all through our adult lives, in all areas of our lives. So we're very fragmented from the childhood abuse, right? We kind of split out. I found anytime my child would get stressed out, traumatized, boom, she splits out of the body. She's somewhere in the field, and so you begin to fragment and feel more and more broken or shattered. I really felt shattered. I thought there's no way I'm going to be able to piece myself back together. But this process does it, because that vortex is working like a blender, right? It's pulling all the pieces back together. And you start to become more of a healthy, whole, complete being. This is very integral to being able to be in healthy relationship or collaborating with others without any kind of competition, and also being able to set up healthy boundaries. Part of the thing that happens when you're born and raised into a boundaryless family, which I was. I didn't even know what a boundary was. I wasn't allowed to have healthy boundaries as a child. So I was in my 40s when I'm starting to realize, oh my God, I have to build boundaries.
Yeah.
So you start learning what are healthy boundaries and being able to get out of boundaryless relationships. Everyone I was getting into relationships, they all wanted to merge into my field. Ooh, I love what she's running. I like that energy, right in, right? And I was like, I felt horrible. And so I had to learn how to contain myself and not push on others and not let them push into me. So these are all new, I would call them new habits, new patterns I had to develop.
You rewired it.
Yeah, completely rewire ourselves to live as a healthy divine being. And so this course is providing you, it's like a 30 page ebook. I go into a lot of detail on it, and then a lot of protocols that you can start to work on and immediately start to apply for yourself. And then I'm doing a live webinar on all of this. So if you get the course, you can start to work with it on your own. And in 2 weeks, we're doing the live webinar, July 27th. The last one I did on the healing shadow self went 4 hours. Okay.
Wow.
And we had so many questions, and we did a lot of healing protocols. So everyone got a live experience of how to do this. And so that's why I do these webinars. It's like, it's experiential, it's interactive, it's live, and it will go right through the material. There's a presentation of kind of the highlights of the training, and then going and taking your questions and then doing those protocols live together.
This is fantastic, Meg. I love that you're offering this and that you're giving protocols and people can keep going back. Yes. And it's accessible and effective. And the live call also on top of it is profound. Y'all, this is $97 on BTO. To have Meg show up for $97 or even to get on our calendar, which I even find challenging. I'm not complaining, and I'm not going to reach out. Well, if it's an emergency, I might reach out for a special favor, but it's but of course not wanting to take advantage of the protocols that Meg has in place. So what you're getting here, I mean, this work will change your life. No matter how much inner child healing you have done, there's another layer to go, and and the growth of the inner child, and again, what's available as that extends out, not only to past generations, but really to future timelines and
Yeah, it
generations as
is.
well.
Yeah. And we're working at the quantum level. That's why it opens up these new potential future timelines we would never even seen or be able to connect to if we hadn't done this healing work.
Amazing, y'all. All right, y'all, take advantage of it. The link for it, well, it's $97. There's a 2-payment option on the offer also. So it's very accessible. It's Meg, it's the energy, it's the transmission. It's the work we're bringing on BTOs to help you not only raise your vibration, but keep it there and learn, as we're all learning how to create in this new future world that we're living in. It's brand new. And there's so much to look forward to. And there's so much that's accessible to us right now. And I know this is going to help tremendously. So again, I encourage you to take advantage of it. Again, the link's in the chat box, or go to beyondtheordinaryshow.com/Meg28. And with that, Meg, can we open to some Q&A?
Yes, let's do it.
All right, let's attend this. Okay, I'm gonna read the first one that came in. Actually, before I read this one, someone's writing that they're receiving psychic attacks. What can you tell me about psychic attacks, experiences that that maybe other people may or may not be having from your awareness of the communities, or communities that you're aware of? And I'd love it if you can address it.
Okay, so let's kind of go bigger picture for a minute and recognize that we were all born into what's called, the matrix simulation. We were born into this patriarchal, hierarchical power system, and it's a chaos field. It's very polarized, and it's infiltrated in the 4D astral plane by a lot of what we call, lower negatives and these kinds of things. So psychic attacks can happen from both physically, from others around you, or from astral interference. And the more that we do our shadow work, do our healing, do our clearing, and extract ourselves out of that matrix operating system and really begin to shift over, ground into, and live from the new Earth operating system, which is a circular collaborative operating system. These are the two that are running on the planet right now. Everyone has a choice. So if you're experiencing astral attack, I would recommend first identifying where it's coming from, right? Is it coming from people around you, or is it coming from the 4D astral plane? Second, I would start fortifying, create your boundary, right? Fortify your field with an energetic shielding protection. It's like an orb of light around the outer boundary of your field. And then you need to find what's inside you that is opening your field for the astral attack, because nothing can get to us if we aren't in resonance with it. So that's what actually the attacks helped me identify where I was still compromised, where I was still, I may had a door open because I was wounded in this area, and I needed to go heal that up and close that door, and so using those steps, you start to fortify your field, you start to identify where it's coming from, you begin to look as where you are allowing that to come in, because if you don't let the ego go into victimization, because that again is still part of the matrix simulation. You want to be able to own that this is my field, I'm the master of my field, nobody's getting in here, this is my private personal boundaries. And if I am experiencing something like that, it could be as simple as you're just in the matrix chaos field, boom, 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 stuff's just hitting you. So you want to start getting out of all of that, clear your earthly history, and begin to live in the New Earth operating system, which it's a 5D to 12D operating system. There's no polarity in it. So the lower consciousness, lower shadow forces don't even want to go into it, because they are parasitic. They feed from the top down. They feed on us. They're not going to get fed over in the New Earth operating system. So they're not in there. And so you begin to understand, like, for example, I've been pulling out of that matrix system since about 2007, so about 15 years now. And so I'm almost like 100% in the new Earth system. It's supporting me. It's magnificent. But every once in a while, I would notice my ego could get triggered. I would get pissed off about something, or react to something. I would feel maybe some inner competition got triggered. That's where I still had a little piece of myself still engaged over there in that matrix system, and then I would pull that out. Okay, so that's how you look for it. You look for where you do get triggered. You look for where you do get engaged with that polarity, right? It's not heart-centered or love-centered or collaborative at all. It is a competitive, aggressive, top-down power system. So looking for where you want to pull out of that, looking for where you're being interfered with, and you start cleaning your field up so that nobody can interfere with you. Does that make sense?
It makes a lot of sense. It's a lot of information, but again, it's really important to be aware in our environment when we start having racing thoughts or can't focus, or we're feeling the collective so much. All this, what Meg is talking about, helps to clear that. And they could be attacks, they could be other things going on. But again, regardless of what it is, and being aware of what it is wonderful. And I'm not saying bypass that, but having these tools that you talk about, Meg, and they're offered in Meg's courses, they're offered online. I'm assuming there's probably
there's actually a clear energy course, so you can get in there and clear interference. I think we lost John. John, come back. There you are.
You're right. You guys lost me. Okay.
We never lost you. We held on. Like, come back.
Oh, wonderful. So I don't know where I ended, but again, this is such great advice. Y'all come back and listen to this part of the replay, everybody, because we need to learn how to clear our energy on a continuous basis. I went to the beyond. That's funny.
Yes, you did.
It's like, whoa, with Meg's energy, you just can't help but go places.
So you guys are great.
Hey, let's take a live caller now, and then I'll get into questions that came in the emails also. Belinda, let's get you to unmute. Welcome.
Hello. Guess good morning or good afternoon. It's evening here. I like the energy that you bring, Meg. So thank you, and thank you, John, for your show. I've been working on myself, and I have this lingering sadness, and trying to connect with it. I think it's inner child related, because I've been estranged from my family, and I still write to my mom. I love her. I tell her I do, but there's too much drama, and I can't reconnect. And I don't know if the sadness is coming from there or something else, if it's ancestral. And honestly, I'm not suicidal, but I just want to leave. I don't want to be here. That's how sad it is.
So, okay. Yeah. Thank you for sharing. Sadness is the feeling of something, not quite right inside, right? That the sadness is telling us something is missing, or something has been hurt or harmed. And so let's just do it here, Belinda. We're just connecting to where you're feeling that feeling of sadness, and everyone can do this. And it's usually it's coming up from the emotional chakra. So I feel it rising out of the solar plexus, heart, throat, just kind of getting it out of the inner core, out of the chest. And you can use your breath, and I call in the God light, the crystalline diamond light. Let it just kind of start to come down your chakra column, and just go soak right into where that sadness is. It's just starting to kind of help loosen it up, and You're already beginning to give your body permission to just relax and surrender it, let it go, let it rise. And we're just going to use the spin of the powerful quantum vortex to start to lift the top layers of that sadness out. And I do see your inner child underneath that sadness. So as you're lifting the pain, the trauma out, you can just breathe it out, spin it out, release it out, back to source light. Whew. All right, there we go. It's like a heaviness, you know, density lifting off the chest, off those chakras. And then we can go deeper in and continuing to go in and connecting with the inner child that has that sadness. We can wrap our arms of love around the child aspect, just letting the child know, I'm here for you, I love you, I'm going to protect you. And also what I found with having parents that were not showing up, right? They weren't meeting just our necessary needs as a child. I had to help my child stop trying to reach towards them to get that, because it's not happening. They're not able to provide it. So kind of the adult use, helping your child accept that these human parents aren't going to be able to provide that to us. And when we just kind of accept that truth, it just helps the child kind of let go of trying to grab and hold on to them and get from them what they're not getting, right? Just kind of let them go, let them be where they're at in their own healing, let them be in their own wounding, whatever it is, let them be. Okay, there we go. And then what really worked for me is you start to direct your inner child to divine mother, to divine father, to connect to who will, your divine parents will be there for you 24/7. They will be there for you eternally. And so I started creating this new, healthy, loving connection from my child to divine mother. You can have divine mother place her hand on your heart, connect to you and your child. There you go. And connecting to divine father. And let divine father place his hand on your heart so you can connect to him, to your child. And you're creating a new family unit. You're creating a constant loving presence from divine mother and divine father for your child to heal and feel safe. So she doesn't want to leave. We're at the best part here now on this planet. Don't leave.
Right.
This is the rewards for all the hard work.
Mm-hmm.
This is where we get to live as a divine human. So just let her know you're bringing it to her. Okay, you're bringing it all to her. Whew. There you go. Feeling the healing going into that wound of the child. So you don't have to feel constant sadness or grief or loss or disconnection. This new connection with divine mother father is what we replace now and live from. Okay, good. I'm feeling you releasing more of those feelings or thoughts of wanting to escape, wanting to leave. Just no, this is we need to live as divine humans now. We need to, and we can do it in the new earth timeline. So it's really give that gift to yourself. Okay, there you go. So you're going to still feel some energies moving here, but allow that to continue in you. And heal.
Thank you.
You're so welcome.
I feel a lot of release from my lower back and in my heart chakra, and my throat chakra feels really raw and painful right now. I feel that there's
Take the healing
something
right into that raw place. Just take because the throat chakra is how we express ourselves out into the world. So if we've been wounded and disconnected and separated, just we're not expressing ourselves at all in the world. So I still have been healing some in the throat
Mm.
Yeah, there you go. Let that just coat the throat chakra, the healing light.
Mm.
Thank you so much. Blessings to you all, and blessings to you, John.
Blessings to you, Belinda. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. How many of y'all were feeling your throat chakra as well, right around your throat? I was feeling that rawness really strongly. So Belinda, you served all of us in bringing this up. Thank you. So not only are you healing your family lineage and your inner child, the ripple effects of you emanating the light through that opening came to us as well. How beautiful. And this is what we keep doing. It's happening over and over again. So yeah, so beautiful. Thank you, Belinda. Okay, let's go now. I'm going to take one more live caller, then I'll get into this other question that wants to come in, or that has come in that I want to address. But Martine, I want to go to you right now. Let's get you to unmute, please. And Meg, if you're seeing something in the chat that you want to address, I'm of course happy to get into that.
Okay.
And Martine, can you unmute? Welcome.
Yeah, have I not unmuted? Can you hear me?
You have now, yes.
Hi. I don't remember what question I wrote in yesterday, but it's around a sense of disconnection. Like I find I'm changing. I'm used to be analytical, but now my brain is kind of like more of a sensing, knowing, feeling. And I feel like I'm stuck in a theta wave all the time. And I just feel like it's just really awkward. And I'm wondering if there's something there that is like jamming up the works, or if there's something I'm doing in particular or that I can do to have more of a balanced life.
Yeah, yes. Okay. So part of this ascension process is we're evolving from just living fully in the left brain, the thinking mind in 3D and 4D, and we're opening up our right brain, which is our holographic, intuitive brain, multidimensional brain. It's what we use to visualize. It's what we use to access the quantum field. So as we clear out and pull out of that matrix operation system, this right brain starts to flip on, right? We start to get more of the neural pathways opening up in the right brain, and also the third eye chakra. One of the things, we'll do this real quick with you, Martine. One of the things that, as this is happening, it's kind of like whoa, and we're having to learn how to use both brains simultaneously, okay? So that we become multidimensional. All right, so that's a big deal. And I had a 25-year career as a project manager in the corporate world. I was full left brain, masculine energy, had to unlearn all that and open up the right brain and my feminine energy as well. So that's part of the process for many of us. So imagine that you're going to run an infinity of light between and around the left and right brain. We want to start to integrate them. We want to start to unify them. We want to start to connect them. And we want to start to balance them. Okay, there we go. It's starting to run. Left and right, weaving back and forth, integrating. Imagine the corpus callosum that links those bands of nerves that links the left and right brain. They're starting to run electrical current back and forth. The two brains are starting to talk to each other. Ooh, there we go. That's a good blast. Now, when we get in there, this is where we start clearing out mind control programming, clearing out any kind of energetic walls or frequency fences that gets in there from the matrix. So let's do that. Let's command out, spin out, flush out any mental interference, any blockages, barriers, energy walls, energy balls. We start to lift out, clean out. Okay, there you go. Spin out. Whew. Rising out, back to source light. You're taking possession of your own mind. You're commanding. This is your territory. This is your sacred mind. Okay, more releasing. Ooh. Good. I'm starting to open up the light current, your super consciousness to flow in the neural pathways. Just release, exhale. Don't try to stop it. Allow the release out. You're doing great. Ooh, there goes more. Good job. Ooh, that was some generational, ancestral coming out. And there's some trauma, brain trauma also coming out, Martina. It's just let's just almost like it's got some substance to it, some injury impact or brain trauma. So let's again use the diamond light, the God light, and flesh out, reverse out, injury impact, brain trauma. It's kind of like a dense cloud lifting. Okay, there it goes. Release. Woo. Ooh, yeah. I think that was part of your problem. That was causing the imbalance. Let's do it again. Running, electrical current, super consciousness, left, right, just back and forth. There you go. You can also bring more of your soul light, your soul super conscious coming down the crown, especially filling into those dormant neural pathways in the right brain, turning on your psychic mind, your intuitive mind, your holographic mind, your visioning. Okay, that popped in more. You're releasing out emotional trauma of not being in possession of your own mind, releasing that out, clearing that out, canceling and revoking it out now. You're taking possession of your sacred mind. Okay, there goes more. Ooh. Think of it like you're getting in there and you're bringing your soul in there, Martine. You're marking it with your soul signature, your soul symbol, your soul mandala. You're claiming your sacred mind is yours. There you go. Good. You're getting in now. Good. Good. You dropped in. Good. Your feet are grounding that to the crystal grid. You're in. That was some stuff trying to push you out there, wasn't it? Yeah. Woo. Flowing vertically, Kundalini life force, soul light current. Whoa, let that flow up and down you. Yes. All right, you're in.
All right, beautiful. Martine, thank you so much.
I thought I was going to lose my head there with all the shaking. I thought it was that was crazy.
Man, you stuck with it.
You lost one and grew another. Martine, thank you so much. And Meg, it's so funny. I love the synchronicity. I was looking for the question that came in yesterday, and it happened to be Martine. So I didn't even know.
Wonderful.
So
voila. Just keep grounding, Martine. Keep grounding the power coming through you. Yeah, keep grounding it in. Good. We covered it.
I have a question that came in. I still want to go through, what's up for the rest of 2022 and to get into the process that we talked about earlier for the Syrian Gateway. But I really want to ask this question because I think this is there's quite a few people that experience this, and this comes from Delfino. And Delfino writes, most of my childhood memories are blocked. Have not figured out how to get to the root cause of blocking my awareness. And Delfino says, of embodying my gift as a healer. And I would believe that it's way beyond just embodying, not just embodying your gift, of course. There's other things, there's so much at play.
Yeah.
So what do we do again where those memories aren't coming in? Again, please run with us.
So as I mentioned earlier, when the child is traumatized, right, it splits out. So in a way, you're not connected. So you're not connected to your memories. So let's just all feel around us to our beautiful child essence, wherever you're sensing their presence. And don't even second guess it. Wherever you used to sense, okay, and if you need to go back into your thought process of maybe you remember pictures of yourself when you were very young. You're just connecting to your soul, your soul's inner child essence. And then we're going to start to pull it out of wherever it's stuck. It could be out in the ethers, in the field. It could be stuck in time. All right, we're just going to kind of wrap around and bring that child into the heart center with our beautiful soul. Oh, and you can feel it come in, literally coming back inside you. Woo. And now let's have the soul embrace the child, like heart to heart, soul heart to child heart. There you go. Connect And then allow your child to receive the love coming from your soul's heart to the child's heart. Feeling what's safe in here in the heart space. Feeling loved, feeling connected to, because literally you just connected energetically to your child. And just allow that to build first, because until you feel the connection, it's hard to open up into the Akasha, the morphic field where the memories are. Our bodies hold the memories. So I would also pay attention if you're feeling any kind of pain, if you're feeling if the body's reacting as well to the childhood trauma. For myself, mine was mostly in my solar plexus and my gut. I had all my life, I had irritable gut. And also I had allergies all my life. So my body was already trying to attack this painful shadow energy from the childhood abuse. It was just going gangbusters, attack, attack, attack. So you start to watch how your body's responding to it as well. And as you mentioned too, John, whatever starts to come up in lucid dreaming, what comes up, you might have a flash. It's not going to be like, a full movie reel of your memories. It's going to be, coming in from time, space. So I could get a sense or a flash. For me, I kept finding I would freeze here and feel someone grabbing me by the shoulder, and waking me up for child abuse. So this is really visceral. I still feel it at times, or I'll be like maybe I move to another room and I feel like someone's right behind me. That's held in the field from repetitive memory of that happening. So watch what starts to show up. Don't discount it. This is all real. And then you can continue to heal it will show up as you're ready for it, right? It'll start to appear because you've now said, hey, I want to know it. I'm here. Let's see it, right? You start opening that consciousness up. You're telling the field, I'm ready. I want to see it. I'm calling it in. And our consciousness responds to us immediately in the quantum.
Yeah, this is beautiful work, and that's it. The way you're describing it is amazing. And again, y'all get to work with it in the quantum field with Meg. Again, it speeds up. You don't have to have the full understanding of what occurred. We don't have to have the storylines. There's an intelligence, whether it's our energetic body that's aware, our mind, our physical body, our hearts, but there's an awareness and somewhere, and whether you think you've made it up or you're not, it still lives as real. And I can promise you, a lot of y'all have not made any of this up.
And the power of your invocation, the power of your command. So there'll be times where I'm like, oh man, this feels horrible. I don't know what it is, but it's just like creeping me out. What is this? And I'll go into, I do a lot of work along a moving creek in the woods, and I open up the vortex and I'll just say, show me what this is, or guide me what to do with this energy that doesn't feel right, doesn't feel good, so I'm not even really defining it. I'm just locking onto where I'm feeling it's like creeping me out, right? Just show me what I need to do with this. And you start calling in the solutions, right? You can start calling in the response that you can then start to work with it. So I think when we begin that communication back and forth through to our own inner human spirit, our child, our energetics, you're starting to talk to yourself in a way that it responds in a good way, a healthy way, not a psychotic way. You're really beginning to engage fully with your own energy. And then the healing really takes off.
Yeah, that's wonderful. Defino, you wrote in a couple of things, and I think it's profound. The fact that you're getting images of yourself in your late adolescence, again, it can be that quick. Again, working with Meg in the quantum, what's available is profound, and trust that.
Yeah.
Just trust what's coming up and come back and listen. At the very least, come back and listen to the replay and feel the loosening that's coming up and out. And if you have the opportunity, go into Meg's Inner Child Healing Program. The link's in the chat box. It's $97. There's a 2 payment option on that. You were going to say something, Meg?
Yes, and to know that your energy field, it's a holographic field. So everything that our entire earthly history is held in here holographically. So that means it's imagery. You will see a flash of it. It's energetic, so you feel the energy of it. So again, the left brain wants to go in there and analyze. Don't even do it. Just tune in, sense, feel what's popping up in your holographic field.
Mm-hmm. And no matter what's popping up, just keep the spin, keep going again, keep through the program, and it's going to vibrate out. It's just, don't get caught up in the reptilians or the draconians or this or that, or this happened to me when I was 3. I mean, those things will come up through your consciousness, but let them flow rather than imprinting them in cellular memory. I find that trauma is flowing through us. We're attuning physically up and through. Go ahead, Meg.
That's a great point. Metatron kept reminding me the energy will release in the same form that it came in. So if you experience depression, you'll feel depression come out. And at first I was like freaking out, thinking I was depressed again. And they're like, no, don't internalize it. Don't like re-traumatize yourself with this. Within that left brain will try to do that, right? So you just go, whoa, okay, let's say I woke up and it's like, oh my God, I'm feeling such heavy sadness, grief, depression. Immediately, and you can ask, is this new or is this old? But my guess is it's probably old, and you don't internalize it. Get it moving. It's trying to lift, it's trying to release. So just help it along its way. And then you are getting free of it.
Yeah, y'all are smart. And in your intelligence, you can synthesize so much information that's coming through. And again, I would urge you to be like a child and innocent and open. And I forget what proverb is. It's the children will inherit the earth, I think it is. And truly from that innocent mind frame, rather than the complexities of how we can formulate things to make them have meaning, that is where you'll be setting yourself free. This is so wonderful.
Let me just do a real quick response to the reptilian comment, because that is the matrix simulation. So if you're encountering any kind of reptilian presence or holographic flashes of it, maybe you've got past life involvement with it, whatever it is, maybe it's in your family lineage, right? So it's ancestral. Just clean it out, you guys. You don't have to allow this to continue to haunt you. It's just start to say, I'm no longer participating in it. I'm no longer allowing this, and I'm going to erase my earthly history, which includes any reptilian involvement, and you just start to get out of it. If you allow your mind to get caught up in the story and the narrative, you're just cycling in the matrix operating system.
Oh, that's such a great point. Such a great point. And feeding it. Yeah. And it's the loop of patterns that it keeps us. Yeah. And no, it's so funny because I was getting that yesterday. I kept seeing the patterns and over, even though it may seem like we're upgrading just a little bit. Oh, well, it got a little bit easier and a little bit better. The house is bigger. The car is nicer. It's that old friend isn't there anymore. There's still the loops and the repetitive patterns that we're still playing, but in a different kind of shiny box. It's not quite so shiny if you really look at it.
Well, and that's a good point too, because as you continue to extract out of that programming, out of that operating system, out of that simulation, whatever is left still, now you have a really extreme contrast, right? You're getting brighter, lighter, happier, healthier, and that actually helps us identify the last holdouts that are looping in there that aren't ours. It's not our energy, right? It come from the family or the collective or whatever it is, the history. So it gets more, in a way, extreme when you catch it, but it's just because the contrast is now really highlighting it. But then it makes it easier to catch it and clean it out.
Wonderful. This is so good, y'all. I'm so glad we're having this call. The Syrian Gateway, y'all. Really, I mean, again, we're going to send out we're not done with today's call, but we're going to send out the replay for that. Come back and listen to the explanation of that, and also what's been opening. We're going to get in the transmission here in just a little bit. The Inner Child program that Meg's put together with the live workshop, I put the link in one more time. I want to keep reminding you that it's there, and hope that you guys really do this work. And I love the way Meg has set it up, because yes, you'll have tools to work with in transmissions, and Metatron's Cube's always available with Meg in so many different formats through a community. But the way you're being empowered for you to be with your inner child, not for somebody to come in as the rescuer, because then you still create the same energy of victimhood, but for you to be able to do your own re-showing up for your inner child. That is where everything changes. Someone else carrying it for you, you're going to glimpse relief, and you're going to get back into pattern. And the more you get back into patterns, the more you lose hope. And the more you lose hope, the more you age. And the more you age, the more you're in this disillusioned state of dense realities. It just is. It's the empowerment work of your dedication of saying yes.
Even when I work with
That's where it takes
clients,
hold.
they have to tell me what they're going to work on. Like, this is, you know what I mean? Like, we're going to do this together. Oh, wait, what do you want to work on? And they have to identify it and point me to it. And we work together on it. This is not about anyone coming in and saving us or fixing it. This is the empowerment of transforming ourselves from the inside out.
Yeah, y'all, again, the link's in the special offer link is in the chat box, or go to beyondtheordinaryshow.com/Meg28. Meg, we have to get so we're rewriting, and the old timelines and memories and the history of it is dissipating. How's that shaping our future? What do you see is coming up?
Okay, real quick, let's go back 10 years to 2012. And this was such a pivotal year on the planet, because it is when the Matrix operating system unlocked. Okay, up until 2012, we were lost in it. Okay, this is not fun. Okay, this is no joke. It took me so much effort and energy to try to pull anything out before 2012, because the density on this planet, everything, the magnetic fields, we were locked into it. Okay, that opened up. That was the gift of 2012. And so the past 10 years, we think about it, we've been decomposing and clearing and releasing because it unlocked. So all our stuff's come up in the last 10 years. And it's been, not a challenge. It's been a challenging time these last 10 years to really address what has been showing up for us. But it's a very accelerated purge that's been going on. And you can either, do nothing and just kind of, tread as well as you can in it, or you can do what John's offering with all these amazing teachers and healers, and you can actively get in and work on this clearing, purging, decomposition that's happening within us, within our own fields, our own energetics, even our incarnational history as well, our earthly history. So this has been a very accelerated 10 years of purging and clearing. This year, it's totally different. This year, 2022, is the start of a new 10-year phase of the planetary ascension. And so if you've been doing your core wound healing and your shadow work and all of that, then you're on the front lines. You're part of this new Earth way shower group. You're here now helping to birth alive this new paradigm, this new timeline, this new operating system that is circular, it's collaborative, it's harmonic, it's 5D to 12D. So what I'm seeing is happening in this, as we're launching the next 10-year phase, is we're kind of just stripping away the layers of the false self. We're really starting to activate the bioenergetics of our soul, our galactic soul light body. So this has all been, it was all designed and coded before we were born, but it's just been dormant because we were locked in the matrix. So this is all this, the delayering is happening, clearing's happening. It's allowing us to start to turn on and activate more of our crystalline light body. It's I call it the soul vessel. It's like the home for the soul and the human to merge in and blend and unite inside. And so I've been working on this actively for some time, and it was so interesting. It was probably about 6 months ago. I kind of shot up out of bed in the middle of the night, woke up and had a big flash. That's what I'm saying, we're holographic. So I get flashes of images. And it was an image of my crystalline vessel, my soul vessel, as it's continuing to turn on and activate. It was so fascinating because it looked like kind of like a surfer bodysuit, but it was made up of interlocking crystal diamonds. I mean, it was extraordinary. So think about it. We are in this process of becoming a transmitter of light consciousness, of light frequencies. We're moving away from living and feeding on density and emotion, and we're starting to evolve into living on crystalline light, on soul light, soul energy. So that's what this year's about. It's a big kind of a launching of the new trajectory into living as a light being. And also the other thing that I noticed was happening, and it's continuing because it's gradual so that we can handle it, is part of that decomposing that's happening. And we mentioned the reptilian. Okay, so it's decomposing as well. Since 2012 is the reptilian human hybrid DNA. And as your light body activates more and more, you're activating within you your own dormant galactic starseed DNA. So this is the replacement that's happening. So let's say you originated from Sirius, you start to turn on the dormant Sirian human hybrid code so that you're creating, in a way, your own Sirian light body that will eventually take you home once the ascension has been achieved. So this is also happening not just kind of in our own mind or in our emotions or in our own psyche, but it literally is happening in our own bioenergetics as well. So take this year as kind of like a birth year. It's the 222. It's the 222 is the sacred harmonic code of the divine feminine, of creation, of rebirthing, of divine mother, this kind of thing. And so we're getting a big infusion of that the whole year, of that kind of mother birthing energy. Take it in, work with it, allow it to take you to the next level, birth alive this new path in front of you that is you living as this starseed divine human.
Oh, this is amazing. This is amazing what you're sharing right now. And again, of the energies and being aware of what's activating is so powerful. And again, this ties into the inner child healing, recovering soul fragments, getting back into wholeness and opening up again new gateways as we work with those waves of gateways that are here for us. And speaking of the gateways, Meg, can we do the transmission for the Syrian gateway now?
Sure. So, okay, so I'm just going to walk you through the steps. If you can have your feet on the floors, we're going to ground into the vortex, quantum vortex. You're not going to use that left brain, okay? No analyzing. You're just going to be in the flow of your psychic right brain. So let's take a couple deep breaths. You're just starting to tune in. So you're coming down from the mind and getting more focused and present in your core center, into your feeling body, into your heartbeat. I use my breath to move energies in and out. So getting into your breathing. And let's continue to run our energy down the leg channels to the feet chakras, and you're locking and connecting onto the crystalline grid of our new earth timeline. Rooting, grounding, there you go, just connecting in. Roots of light from your feet chakras into the crystal grid of our new earth. All right, and as we set up here, let's connect to our beloved Archangel Metatron. He's going to embed Metatron's cube, sacred geometry, under your feet in your grounding, we're working with this template, this Metatron's Cube template. So it's made of outer 6 circles, inner 6 circles, and then a center 13th circle. So imagine you're stepping into the center of Metatron's Cube, center circle. Okay, there you go. Good. And you're giving it your light, you're giving it your life force, you're giving it your energy, it's turning it on. Whew. There we go. Those 12 circles rise up as pillars of light up and around the body and the aura. And they're like tuning forks. They're humming and toning with the 12 sound waves of our 12 dimensions of our 12 dimensional universe. And so imagine these tuning forks are humming right into you. And we hear the tones in our human ears as the sacred sounds of Om. So you can Om as they're humming and they're vibrating and they're beginning to rotate these pillars of light right to left. So this is anti-clockwise, counterclockwise, right to left around the body and the aura. And there they go. As they start to spin up faster and faster, they begin to blend and form the quantum vortex of diamond light. There it goes. And then it's starting to open and expand your field up and out into the higher dimensions. Allow yourself to open, expand, up and out. Oh, there we go. And then we're going to go even faster towards the speed of light and starting to collapse the veils, the time barriers, time density, and open all the way out to the quantum level. Ooh, there you go. Let that ripple through you. Ooh, it opens us to both the particle field and the wave state, so physical and spiritual simultaneously. We got it. All right, we're in. And now let's come inside. We're going to focus inwards to our chakra column, our own light body. We're going to bring a second spiral coming up from Metatron's Cube. It's called the Resurrection Spiral. It's a tighter anti-clockwise spiral right up to the root and spiral up your chakras. Okay, you're clearing density, trauma, memory out of your chakras. And as you spiral up anti-clockwise, you're opening your channel as a direct pathway all the way up to your higher self at the top. Go all the way up. Whew. Spiraling up, there you go. Our higher self is our guardian, our gatekeeper at the 12th chakra, 12th gate, connecting to your higher self. I always do like my hand on my higher self's heart, my higher self's hand on my heart. Just make that loving bond with your higher self. Whew. There we go. Connection. And your higher self is your gatekeeper at the 12th gate. So it's opening the gate up to your divine galactic starseed soul energy. Your soul's made of light and sound. So connecting to your beautiful soul, your soul signature light, your soul sound waves, your tones, your harmonics, your soul frequencies. There we go. We got it. And now we're going to reverse and bring a wave of soul light, soul frequencies down the chakra channel through the crown. Open and receive in, breathe in, fill in with soul light, soul frequencies down into all the chakras in your body. Woo, all the way down and in, filling in, woo, nourishing you, replenishing you. Let it go all the way down to the lower human chakras, down to the root, pelvic floor, dropping in, filling in. Yes, good. And now let's send a nice strong beam of soul light, soul frequencies into the heart crystal, right into your heart crystal there, right in, filling in. Crystals amplify the light frequency. So the heart crystal starting to intensify, amplify your soul light frequencies in the heart. And it begins to radiate in all direction, your soul light rays, just like a big starburst right there at your heart crystal. Whew, there you go, pop, big starburst of soul light rays in all directions. Whew, just like a big sun in your chest. All right. And so in this space of soul connection and soul light radiance and soul vibration, we're going to use this chakra channel. This is your channel up to the abundant universe. So let's focus with our holographic mind to Star Sirius, and we're going to open our channel up to the Syrian elders and the Syrian indigo blue ray frequencies, blue ray light. And we're connecting to all that we can benefit in the now while the Stargate is open to Star Sirius. Okay, there you go. So you might be connecting to your own Syrian lineage if you have any, or you're connecting to the wisdom keepers of the Syrian elders, for they've already gone through the ascension and they're here to assist us. And you're also connecting to the blue ray and its healing properties and its activation, ascension activation properties. So let's bring the Syrian indigo blue ray down the channel, open and receiving in the Syrian light. Ooh, there you go. Get a good infusion coming down and in. Breathe it in, fill up inside in your chakra column with Syrian light, blue ray. Ooh, whoa, let that come in. This is much higher consciousness than we have been used to in the 3D 4D earth plane. So breathing in higher consciousness, you're breathing in the wisdom, the knowledge of the Syrian elders, breathing in the healing properties of the Syrian light into your body. And if you have Syrian lineage, breathing in more of the energies of your Syrian lineage to open and activate in your soul light body and your soul blueprint. Let's just feel inside for a minute. Just breathe that in. All the benefits you're receiving from this Syrian Stargate and our Syrian ancestors and the ascension wisdom and the healing light, the activation light. Spinning in, moving in, filling in. Just keep breathing it in. Because we are reconnecting to our galactic family of light as we're doing this. And we're connecting to the ancient mystery schools that originated in our neighboring star systems, especially in the Syrian mystery schools. And of course, we're connecting to Archangel Metatron, who is the master alchemist and overseer of the ascension in all these star systems. Oh, okay, you might feel your field expanding. You might feel your chakra column expanding and filling more. Keep your feet on the grid. You're grounding this in. As we're standing in this timeless quantum vortex, we're spinning back in time. We're spinning into the future nows. So let's use the momentum of this powerful blue ray and our Syrian ancestry coming into us, the Syrian Lemurian lineage waking up in us. And let's now move it into Gaia, move it down through us. We're the anchor, conduit, moving it into Gaia's field, moving it into Gaia's land and waterways. We're bringing the blessings from Sirius and the blue ray into the ascending Gaia to assist. Ooh, I can feel that flowing through all of you, right into the land at your feet and into the field, Gaia's field. And then in front of us on our path of light in the future now, as we're connecting to the annual powerful 8-8 Lions Gate. And you might get a sense of the protective Syrian lions that guard the temples, that guard the pyramids, that guard the gateways. And we're connecting to the powerful Syrian lion lineage. And you might even get in your mind's eye the tarot card of strength and the lion, connecting to this powerful Lion's Gate strength and resilience and confidence and courage to live your full purpose, live your soul mission. Ooh, let that power up inside your core. Ooh. Where we become, in a way, the protectors of Gaia as well. It's really honoring our soul mission as galactic starseeds, as angelics. Whew, okay, that's starting to take hold inside us. The vortex is spinning this in, grounding this in, merging this in. So blending deep, deep down inside you to the molecular level. All new encodement, any rewriting, any activations, taking hold inside you, updating the RNA and DNA, updating your galactic starseed light body and your physical body as one. Whew, wow. Whew, breathe that in, spin that in, ground that in, merge that in. You can tap on your arms, your legs as you're pulling it deep inside you. You are the anchor point of it. Here we go, right on Gaia's grid and right in Gaia's field. And right inside your own light body and soul blueprint and operating system and your soul starseed code turning on with all this light infusion. And there we go. We set this into motion now. Whew. And so it is. And so it is. Just let it settle in.
Wow, that was so visceral for me.
Just be one with it. Yep. It's going to continue.
Oh, this is so beautiful. Y'all, we're going to send the replay link out a little bit later. You can come back through any of these processes, all of them, into the energy that Meg's bringing in also, but stay in this profound energy. The link for the special offer, Inner Child Healing, it's in the chat box. If you're coming back into your body, you want to click on that, you can do so. You can remember beyondtheordinaryshow.com/Meg28 as the page. And we'll send the link out in the replay link a little bit later as well. So you'll have access to that. And the replays are always at beyondtheordinaryshow.com/replay. Oh, I have so much to share about that, Meg, and so much that I experienced. And I want to leave each and every one of y'all to your process. Trust what's coming through for you is for you and serving you in this beautiful benevolent energy that's coming through.
Yeah, you're an open receiver. Just keep receiving it in.
Meg, that was wonderful. It's what a beautiful way to end.
Yeah, it's such a pleasure to be here with all of you.
Yes.
Thanks, John.
Honored to be with y'all as well. Honored to be with you, Meg. I bow to each and every one of you, and you too, Meg, and namaste. And I look forward to seeing y'all on the next call.